Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're listening to me from. Today, I want to discuss with us continuous improvement. I see it as a very important tool for business improvements, for business growth. And it's something that is most times, especially in this part of the world, hardly looked into. It's an area that you could use to take your business exponentially because that's what the world is into now, exponential growth. The future is going to be talking more about exponential growth. As we go through the slides, we'll understand why I'm poised to take us through this topic today. Um, okay, so who am I? I think a little introduction about myself would help. So I'm Dominic Wangbarocha. I am a chemical engineer. I have a MSc in chemical engineering, current certified. I have an MBA in finance and investment. I am an ISO auditor. I am certified Six Sigma associate, black belts and master black belts. I have some 7+ years experience, over 7 years experience in manufacturing. What are we learning today? Today, I want us to understand continuous improvement squarely. I want us to look at the approaches to follow based on the challenges that are faced in different industries. I want us to look at Kaizen, Lean, and Six Sigma. What are the differences? How do we use these tools? I want us to look at the tools needed to jump into a Kaizen project. I want us to look at the types of Kaizen. I want us to leave this place with a charge on how we're going to apply continuous improvement in our daily lives. So let's define continuous improvement. I have an interesting picture here that talks more about the aspects or the cycles, talks about commitment, talks about strategy, talks about process, talks about performance and quality at the core, at the center of continuous improvement. And it also, continuous improvement is seen as a subset of continual improvements. As you're talking about improvements in bits, that's the way I see it, like incremental improvements. Then you look at and some practitioners who also say continuous improvements are more closely with techniques of SPC, the statistical process control. But how do I see it? I see it as an ongoing effort to improve product services and processes. Effort, ongoing, underlined. So it's continuous, it's every time. The little things that you do to make your system better, to make your products better, to make your process better. That's what I see continuous improvement as. Okay. So I put a decision matrix here for us today because I want us to understand how do you decide what tool you'll be using in solving your problems or the challenges that your business faces. In every situation, we need to ask two questions. So I call it the guru mantra. Is it the cause? Is the cause for the given problem known or unknown? Is the solution simple or complex? If the cause is known, and the solution is simple, then just do it. Just open the tap or fix the leakage. The doorknob is back, just fix the doorknob. If the course is also known and simple, you could apply Kaizen. We'll get to understand better what a Kaizen is. If the course is simple, is known, but the solution is complex, then we apply a lean approach. But if the course is unknown and the solution is complex, then we use Six Sigma. If the course is unknown, but the solution is simple, then we seek an expert. You ask someone who knows better. So that the world is swamped in COVID-19, what do you think? What do you think the approach should be? Do we know the cause? Is the solution simple? Is the solution complex? What do you think? Is it a known cause, an unknown cause? Or what approach would you advise that should be used in solving a problem like this? What quadrant would you place COVID-19 situation in? So this is a question that you could drop a comment in the box, and we'll talk about it later as we go in the course. What do you think is the approach to solving the COVID-19 situation. Okay, so just do it. So I just put complete the task, increase sampling time. It could just be you found a problem. Oh, we checked our machine and we're filling 50 meals instead of 65 meals, and increase sampling time, increase filling size, just to do it. That's what it's about. So I use the Nike logo to that always reminds us about just doing it. So just do it. Just fix that problem. The tap is dripping. Get the wrench and tighten it. Just do it. Then it could be Kaizen, but over here, I want us to look at the three together. I want us to understand what the differences are. What's the difference between Kaizen, lean approach, and Six Sigma? And looking at the quadrant also. What is Kaizen? Kaizen, it's a Japanese word. It's Kai is for change and Zen is to improve. So it's change to improve. So it's not an innovation, but a continuous improvement process. It's a continuous improvement process through minor actions that are continuous and carried out by all the people in the plant. Underlined, continuous improvement, underlined, minor actions. We define continuous improvement as ongoing actions. When you take these minor actions into consideration, into the processes, into what you're doing, you are gradually bringing change to improve the process. So that's what Kaizen is about. It's a mindset. That's the way I see it. If you learn only one word of Japanese, then it should be Kaizen. That's what my psyche might says. Interesting, because it's wonderful to also understand that when you change your mindset, when you put your mindset towards improving, gradual improvement, gradual changes, you'll find out that your system would never remain the same. I always tell the story about Grand Prix and how tires are being changed in less than a minute for when you watch the Grand Prix and the car race. And you see the over time, I'm sure they started with 10 minutes. The car comes in to the booth and they take off the tires, and before you know, they are done. It- I said I've been watching this for some time, and I noticed that it got to a point that this car, the tire changing became like 1 minute or less, and it's an improvement. So every day they put more effort into their system. They were changing things and they were getting better. It's the same thing. So I watch videos of um how a car is being painted. The first time they spent me an hour, accuracy, precision, and all of that, and they got to a point where they spent 10 minutes spraying without splashes on the walls and all of this. This is improvement. These are small changes. But what is lean today? So I see lean as an elimination of waste. We'll look at the eight waste, which is also called moda in Japanese later. So the cause is known, yes, but the solution is complex. So what are the common lean tools that we have? Value stream map, we have the Pokayoke, we have the Hinjunka, we have just in time, we have Jidoka, we have the eight waste, like I earlier mentioned. And these are the tools that are used by lean, the lean approach in solving problems. If you know these tools very well, you understand better how to solve a problem. But Six Sigma, it's where the cause is unknown and the solution is complex. It focuses on variation reduction. Don't forget, Kaizen is talking about continuous improvements, minor actions taken. Lean is talking about the elimination of waste. Six Sigma is talking about variation reduction. So it's a data-driven methodology. So here we're talking about how do we get 3.4 defects in 1 million opportunities. This is what we're looking at. 3.4 in 1 million. This is the approach. This is the thought pattern. So it has five phases. So it has the define phase, the measure phase, the analyze phase, the improve phase, and the control phase. But in all of these phases, there are like 15 steps. And in these 15 steps, there are over 30 toolkits that are used in solving problems. It's a very powerful process or methodology in problem solving. But don't forget, only use when you know your courses are known and your solution is complex. Okay, so what are the differences? Kaizen, small improvements implemented when the course is known or simple. It does not require a large team. It can do it in 0 to 5 days. For lean, it's waste elimination implemented when the course is known and the solution is complex. It requires a team effort. It could do in 45 to 90 days. Six Sigma, variation reduction implemented when the course is unknown, the solution is complex and requires team effort. Its estimated time is 90 to 180 days. So I had a small test for us to do. You could go to Mentimeter and fill in this passcode and let's run through the test. But here is the activity. Here is what I want us to look at. In all of this, which approach do you think we would use? Carrying out a product data analysis involving creating similar charts for different set of products. I think Minitab can be useful, but not sure how to use one. What approach do you think we should use here? Put your answer in the comment section. I would love to go back to see this later. I weigh 10 bottles per hour on the line, but today my supervisor has instructed that I weigh 10 bottles every 30 minutes to increase the sample size. What approach do you think we should use here? Okay, I need your answer in the comment box also. So improper cutting of sachet milk, a string of 10 sachets not cutting off individually after discharge from the filling machine. What approach should we use for this? Once again, in the comment section. Improving productivity of palm refinery by reducing operating costs. What approach should we use for this? High shelving turnaround time at the National Library in Enugu. What approach should we use for this? Okay, here are my answers. For the first one, I think you should seek expert advice. You're carrying out product data analysis, which involves creating similar charts for different set of products, and you want to use Minitab, but you don't know how to use one. Then you should seek expert advice. You are told to weigh, your supervisor has instructed you that you weigh 10 bottles every 30 minutes. Just do it. You have improper cutting of sachet milk and strings, and a string of 10 sachets not cutting off properly. Do a Kaizen. Improving productivity of palm oil and reducing operating costs. That's the Six Sigma project. High shelving turnaround time at the National Library. Use a lean approach to solve this. But all of this we can only understand, and we can only solve when we understand the concept that I've been talking about. And this concept is more about knowing if your problem, if the cause is known, or how simple or complex the solution is. This is what I'm talking about. This is how you could solve a problem. This is how you decide which approach you use. Should I use a lean? Should I just do it? Should I use Six Sigma, or should I seek an expert? It's important that at every point in time that we know what approach to use. Okay, so now let's see the tools that are needed for Kaizen project. It's time to go into Kaizen fully, but let's understand the tools that we even need for Kaizen project. So Kaizen, it's work discipline. The elements are it's work discipline, total productive maintenance, Kanban, quality cycles, quality improvement, just in time, zero defects, a small group improvement, productivity improvement, could be customer orientation, it could be total quality control, it could be statistical quality control, it could be process quality control, or the SPC principles. But these are the elements of Kaizen. And what is the objective of the Kaizen principle? One is cost reduction or quality increase, shortening of throughput time by eliminating non-value adding activities. One of the things you need to understand very well when it comes to Kaizen, Lean, and Six Sigma is be interested in eliminating the non-value adding activities. We call them the NVAs. And also it could be about conscious and self-independent avoidance of wastages. You know, we talked about the 8 waste. We'll look at that later as we go on. Then availability of unused potential in every working procedure. Reflection of every level of key is key. Yeah. So standardization of your work, it's very important. After proposals are involved, employees identification and observed to agreed standards, independent recognition and elimination of weaknesses. These are the objectives. This is why we do a Kaizen. It's because you want to get quality right from the start. That's why you would do a Kaizen project. Okay, so let's see the benefits of this principle. Yeah, it could be highly effective, transparent, and result oriented. I think for me, that's the most important part. That the Kaizen principle is highly result oriented. You do a Kaizen project, you immediately see the results, you immediately see the improvement, you immediately get value for what you have done. And it could reduction of waste, which we've over amplified, improve productivity,